Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray here on ESPN AM 790, 92.9 HD, and all you folks in Brownsville, Tennessee on 1520 AM, 95.3 FM. Of course, Bill Cooksey's roots at News Talk 101.5 in Jackson, Tennessee, and we've been talking fishing on today's show mostly, crappie fishing, bluegill fishing, and my good friend Joe Opager came up and said, hey, there's a young man that just won a $100,000 tournament. Would you like to have him on the radio? And I said, well, where's he from? He said, Piney Flats, Tennessee. I said, hey, I'm going to talk to anybody from Piney Flats, Tennessee. So we got him on here. Jason Abrams, he won the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit event at Lake Eufaula back May 13th and 16th. So good morning, Jason.
Good morning. How are y'all this morning?
We're doing really good, and Jason is my favorite name since my son is Jason. So, but he has not won $100,000 that I know of.
Yeah.
In his line of work, maybe he has. He hasn't told me about it, but I know we talked to Bill Cooksey's on the line too. This meant a lot to you, I know, Jason, because I've read the stories about what you were going after, fishing the shallows and all these different kind of things, and you were facing a pretty good lineup of people. And when you can beat David Walker, another Tennessee guy from Sevierville, in a shootout at the end, so fill us in on how this all happened.
Well, me and David, David actually come from, third place up to finish second. So David made a really big push.
He did make a push, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's really good about David, me and David parked our boats side by side there on day 4, and we're walking up the float ramp right there. And I said, Dave, you got him? He's like, well, I got 5 little ones.
Oh.
And, yeah.
I've heard that before.
Exactly, yeah. So, Dave weighs in, and I see he has more than 5 little ones. So I started sweating a little bit. But, it was great. It was one of them tournaments that everything went right. I mean, when I needed a good one, I caught a good one. Everything just went right.
Yes. Well, when you end up, you make the cuts, and everybody, you might explain to my listeners out there how this thing works, because every time the pressure continues to mount. So walk us through how it developed, because everybody starts out with 0. And no one else finished with 66 pounds, 4 ounces. Okay? So
I will walk you through it then. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
In the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, there's 163 anglers in this tournament. There's 163 anglers that started.
Yes.
Days 1 and 2, all 163 anglers compete.
Yeah.
After the day 2 weigh-in concludes, the top 50 anglers continue.
Here we go. Yeah.
And the weights are cumulative the whole time, so you carry your weights over every day. And after day 3, the weights are still cumulative. The top 10 advances.
There you go. Yeah.
So to day 4. Then on day 4, the top 10, we have a shootout at day 4. When we come back in from we was all due back in at 3 o'clock. And on the stage, they start weighing fish from 10th place to 1st place. So, 10th place guys got off to knock off the number one guy, but the number one guy still got to weigh.
It's like a beauty contest, man. They're going from 10th, and here we go down, and he comes down. Your name hadn't been called yet. I mean, it's the tenseness has got to be pretty tough, because this is a 4-day tournament. Hey, it's no 3-day event or 2-day event. This is 4 days of intense competition, right? I mean,
yeah. It was 4 days of as hard as you can go. It was 80 degrees every day, so the temperature's starting to wear on you, the heat's starting to wear on you. And on the weekends, not only do we have 163 anglers on Thursday and Friday, but, Saturday and Sunday, you start getting local pressure too.
Yes.
So, the pressure that's getting on your fish, the water was dropping 6 to 8 inches a day. So from the beginning of day 1 of practice to the last day of the tournament, the water dropped 24 inches.
Come on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Jason, I read a little bit about the tournament, and I don't know a lot about Eufaula, but isn't it supposed to be a deep water fishery this time of the year?
Well, yeah, me included, if you would have asked me before that tournament how that tournament was going to be won, I would have told you it would have been one deep.
Yeah. Right.
You follow when you come out of Cowicky Creek. What's really neat about this lake? It's almost two separate lakes.
It is.
The main lake that we go out of. When you come out of the creek and you hang a left, it's pretty much East Tennessee River that you guys are used to seeing.
Yeah.
Y'all got down there near Old Hickory Lake and some of them it's a river lake.
Yes.
And when you take a right, as soon as you go underneath the bridge, it opens up. It gets, a little bit wider, not huge, but there's a lot of offshore standing timber from the original lake,
right.
Tons of brush that people's put in. So it is two truly different fisheries. And if you would have thought the middle of May, fish should be deep by now.
Yeah. But
the shad spawn is what really held the fish shallow for me.
Yeah, yeah. And again, we're talking to Jason Abrams, winner of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit event at Lake LaFolla. And you mentioned this because I read up and was saying, you're known for running and gunning, okay? I think of that as basketball, or we could talk football because I know we're going to talk that if Cooksey will let us. But
oh yes,
you're on the move a lot. I read this that some of these spots, 18 to 19 small spots that fit in your pattern, but you were in and about 18-mile stretch of the river. So your fishing time was cut down a lot because you were running and gunning. I don't know how was there a time frame that you got real nervous particularly on that final day when you were trying to find those spots?
Well, what was lucky for me is every day within the first 10 to 15 minutes, I was able to land a really big fish.
Really?
And
okay.
No different on day 4. On day 4, within probably 10 minutes of me starting on my first spot, I landed one between 5 and 6 pounds, and about 10 minutes later, I landed another 3. So within 10 minutes, I got 9 pounds in the boat. So everything just slows down. Even though I'm running and gunning, fishing, I literally was fishing, like you said, 18, 19 spots in roughly a 20-mile section of the river.
Wow.
I would go up and fish them, come back down and fish them. I would make that up and down trip about 5 times a day.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah.
You're moving around, but to get that final and to win this thing, what does this mean to you, Jason, for your career?
It means, it means a lot. There, winning one. There's not a lot of guys out there that's won one of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, but there's a couple.
Yeah.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of guys that's won two.
No.
When you start getting into the category 2, you start separating yourself from the pack.
You do.
You start, you're a little bit more of an elite of an angler out there. You start to separate yourself.
Yep.
So it's a lot for my career. The recognition from winning 2 is a lot better. I'm getting a lot more publicity.
Yep.
A lot more endorsements are coming my way.
There you go.
It's everything. For a professional bass angler, this is the path.
It
is. You want to win 1. Once you win 1, you want to win 2. And 2 comes, a lot more opportunities.
Yeah.
Outside of on the water, just on the water performance, it's talking to guys like you, going to shows, talking to, outdoor people at outdoor shows. A lot of, just that's the world I live in that I love. I love meeting people with this passion. Anytime I can get to talk to anybody about fishing, I'm perfectly happy.
Well, tell us how you got to Piney Flats. We want to know. What's the story on
how
that?
I got to Piney Flats is, I was actually born in Welch, West Virginia, a little bitty old place in Welch, West Virginia.
Okay.
And my dad moved up here, almost 32 years ago, and started a mechanical contractor's business, which, me and my brother still run to this day. And I moved up here when I was really young, 4 or 5 years old. We moved to Piney Flats, and so I've been a resident of Piney Flats pretty much my whole life.
Well, Piney Flats sets you off from a lot of people. Just to say you're from Piney Flats, Tennessee, that you're closer to Washington, D.C. and you are to Memphis, and yet you got fans in Memphis. I mean, that's the way this thing goes, and we know also that this puts you. You're heading to the St. Lawrence River, right?
I'm on my way to the St. Lawrence River. You know,
Yes.
I'm on my way to the St. Lawrence River. I get to practice today and tomorrow.
All right.
I'm going to leave here Sunday night late.
Yes.
Whenever I pull off the water, I'm going to head back down to D.C. and stop and practice on Potomac River for 4 or 5 days.
Amazing.
Because I got, the St. Lawrence River, Potomac River, then back to the St. Lawrence. That's my next 3 stops, so I'm going to get a little practice time in both. Come back from Potomac River, stay with my family for a few days, and do it all and see what we can make. Hopefully we can end this season on a positive note. Maybe not as high as this note, but at least on a high note.
I think you got the what we call gumption. I mean, that's what you got to have because you're competing against the best. And he told us, Bill, we asked him if he's a Tennessee Vol fan. How did you answer that, Jason?
Well, me and my family are a truly divided house in the state of Tennessee. me and my daughter, we're straight up Tennessee fans. Go Vols on our side of the house. And,
yes.
My son, he's young. He loves playing football, but he's only 8. We still got time to, convert him back to a Tennessee fan.
Okay.
But he's an Alabama fan, which, I think a lot of that got, me and him we love to sit on TV and watch the Vols play like everybody in Tennessee does.
Yes.
And, the Vols have had a rough few years, and, he's young, so he's been pulling for Alabama. He likes poking me in my side and telling me my teammates, but go Vols. We'll pull it back around.
See there, Bill? I mean,
that's right.
That's
absolutely. Hey, Larry's a Razorback, and we got to have some fun with him.
You brought it up. Hey, we beat Tennessee last year. Come on now. I mean, that's why everybody says Tennessee was down last year. I've heard that before.
Well, I think everybody beat Tennessee last year, so you can't say your team's any good if you beat us last year. But
man.
we're going to come back strong this year. We're coming back strong this year.
All right, Bill.
We're a baseball school.
You're a baseball school. We don't want to talk about that either. All right, so Jason Abrams, thank you, buddy, for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Continued success. I don't believe in luck. Just go out there and do the wildest dreams you can, man, and we'll be glad to talk to you then down the road when you won some more money than all the people that you thought you didn't owe money to will show up. Okay? So,
Larry, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Tight lines, everybody. Larry, I appreciate you having me on this morning.
All right, buddy. We'll stay in touch, all right? Let's take a break. We'll be right back and close out this baby on Outdoors with Larry Ray.